So yeah, we got some ripe peaches. Some of them starting to fall on the ground. That's what I picked up, was the nice ones that fell on the ground. You got a few soft spots and bug bites and whatever I got to cut out. No big deal. Nothing unusual. Um, this tree is known to be susceptible to a brown rot, where you'll come out and see like a brown patch on the peaches, but they're still firm. And the next day you go out expecting it to be ripe, and it's just completely rotten. I saw something like that already, and took them off the tree. But also, I'm seeing some of them are split around the stem, and when it rains, they get water inside of them and they rot, and the seeds split and they rot from the inside out. So I don't know. I guess a combination of both issues or what, but it's been pretty dry this spring, so it doesn't seem to be as bad. The peaches are smaller. Fair trade. When that rot really starts taking hold, you'd be lucky to be able to salvage, 40 or 50% of each peach that you process. Really good peaches, though. We probably still have some in the freezer from previous years. It's a pretty productive tree. We got two of them. The closest one to the house is more productive than the other one. I didn't check on the plums. They ought to be close to ripe, but I think most of them fell off the tree before they got ripe. Well, my little nephew in there fussing. He just got home. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the skins. I would have no problem leaving them on there, but my mom cuts them off, so if that's what she prefers, that's what I'll do. I guess it's preferable for pies or whatever. I don't think I made peach ice cream, but I do quite like peach ice cream, so maybe I will. I made some mulberry ice cream the other day. made a video on it. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but something in the process. Ooh, we got a visitor. Yeah, some part of the process, either there were some unripe mulberries or just too much acidity in them, or maybe I overheated the milk and scalded it, but something soured the milk. And I wasn't even going to use dairy. I was going to make it all with coconut. I had cans of coconut cream and coconut milk, which I have used to make ice cream before, but I didn't realize I was out of coconut milk. So I used a can of coconut cream and then a can, refilled the can with half and half, which I've also done before, mixed them, but I don't think I've ever made mulberry ice cream before, so maybe it's just the acidity of the berries doesn't lend itself to make some with dairy. I don't really know, but next time I'll just do the coconut milk and coconut cream and see what that does. Um, I wasn't unhappy with it, but it was a little bit sharp. It was like a sour cream or Greek yogurt, which is fine, or frozen yogurt. But my mom really didn't like it. Um, I added more sugar and salt to mine, and that softened it quite a bit. And yeah, about like if you'd put some sour cream in there with it, which I don't. I mean, I guess it's personal preference, but I didn't see a problem with it. I still got some in the freezer. Um, it's nothing that would prevent me from eating it, but I'm inclined to eat weird stuff sometimes. But I'd say of the ice creams that I've made, 0 to 10, it was maybe like a 6. Maybe better than that. I mean, if 10 is the best one I made, which was probably the pawpaw or the pawpaw persimmon, the service berry was pretty good too, but they don't really taste like much. I think the pawpaw and the pawpaw persimmon maybe had the best texture. This one had a really good texture though, because of that extra. This is. I would usually use just coconut milk or a mixture of coconut milk and half. So these last two batches were the first times I used coconut cream. I figured it was just like a more fat coconut milk, which would lend itself to a more creamier texture and better freezing. Like not like scoop better. So I got 2 cans of coconut milk and 3 cans of coconut cream. This was when I was making the serviceberry ice cream, and I didn't realize until after I'd already started. So I got the service berries on the stove in the pot with sugar, white and brown sugar, and I hadn't realized that the coconut cream that I bought was sweetened. So part of the reason that I prefer to make ice cream at home, I mean, it just turns out better. But I don't like overly sweet things. Store-bought ice cream's gross anyway, so but it's also too sweet. So I like being able to control the ingredients and the sweetness. But it all worked out. I just ended up, I used a can of coconut milk. I used a half a can of the coconut cream because it was really sweet. And I used a can of half and half. So that one put dairy in it too. And nothing in that was sour. So I'm leaning more towards the mulberries, but I might have just scalded it. Because I had the mulberries in the pot, mashed them, put in my white sugar, brown sugar, coconut cream, the unsweetened. Um, but I did get the sugar pretty hot before I put the coconut cream in there. And then I added the half and half. Um, but yeah, it was like I could taste the sourness from the very first time I taste tested it. So whatever it was, did it almost immediately. So I'll have to pick up some more cans of coconut milk and try it again because I do still have more mulberries. Not that they're necessarily ideal. I mean, I do like the flavor, but they're like kind of generic berry flavored. It's just like sweet. Like they don't have a real strong, distinct flavor like other berries. And I would say the same about the service berries. They're good, but they're like kind of unremarkable. The service berries, though, I will say they got like a bit of almond flavor from the seeds that's pleasant. Even though it's likely from what's it, cyanides and apple seeds. You'd think this might be easier with a smaller knife, like a paring knife or something, but I like the weight and control I can get with this blade and get a better grip on it. This one's kind of firm, but it's sweet. Yeah, see, this one's got some rot on it. Yeah, I think it'll be faster if I just slice them and discard the bad stuff and then go through and skin them. Another visitor. The bugs don't want them, neither do I. Yeah, my mom's trying to get my attention, so I'm gonna call it. That's about it.